What up, what up, what up, fam? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you are having a good day. As you jump on, you know what to do. Give me those thumbs up, those hearts, those likes, share the video. If you're watching it on Facebook, if you're watching this on YouTube, you know what to do as well. Make sure that you like, that you comment, that you subscribe. I've got a lot to cover, so I'm going to jump right into tonight. The lesson that I have for you tonight is how to talk to strangers about ADOS, hashtag ADOS. So what we're going to begin with is offensive language. Now, offensive language, I don't want you to think of in terms of being offensive to someone. I want you to think in terms of offense and defense of a sports team. So this is offensive language. In other words, you're approaching them. So this is the offense for you. The first key, so we're going to talk about some key talking points. Should you be engaged in a conversation as you're going out and talking to that person? So these are the key talking points. ADOS. ADOS stands for American Descendants of Slavery, not slaves. Hey, I made that mistake at first, so no big deal. But we do want to clarify that to anybody who doesn't know, American Descendants of Slavery. ADOS is an identity and a lineage. It's not an organization, so it's not an organization. We're talking about identity and lineage. Hashtag ADOS is one of our symbols. So that's kind of how we know each other. We on social media, online. So that's just a symbol, but we're an identity and a lineage. We are a specific group, we have a unique history and a specific justice claim. So that's also important. These are all just talking points. Now, here's also what I would say. You don't want to just memorize all these and just boom, 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 use them all at once. Be very specific, very strategic. And of course, you'll always have this video here for you in case you need to know more. Okay, what's the current status of the Black community? And I will use the Black community instead of the ADOS community, because if you're talking to a stranger, they still might not kind of put those two together. If you say the Black community, they'll get it. Our community is on the road to zero wealth by 2053. Wealth. Wealth is the most important indicator of well-being. It's not income. You know, many people think about, well, I make 6 figures, but how wealthy are you? What kind of wealth do you have? And wealth is important because wealth kind of gives you that cushion when times get hard. Income fluctuates, goes up and down. Wealth is what gives you that cushion. Wealth is the most important indicator of structural racism. So a lot of times people say, well, okay, show me who's being racist. Show me what organization is racist. Structural racism is when the structure has been built up to support racism. So you might not be able to pinpoint an exact person or exact organization, but when you have structural racism, it's built up to maintain the racism that's already been in existence. And so wealth is an indicator of that. Well, and what is wealth? Wealth is the difference in what a household owns minus what it owes. So you may see somebody, you may be this person that you look middle class. You have a modern car, you know, you have a up-to-date car, 2019, 2018. You have an up-to-date car. You live in a house, so you look one, you know, so that looks great. You have the latest clothes. You have a professional job. So you may say, hey, I'm middle class. But guess what? What if you have student loans? What if you have a mortgage on that house that makes it worth more than, the mortgage is more than what the house is worth? What if you're upside down on your car? Guess what? You actually, even though you have the appearance of middle class, you actually have a negative net worth. So that's really important to me to remember. Only reparations can completely close the racial wealth gap. Reparations is the cornerstone of the ADOS agenda. Now, here are some calls to action. So you talk to this person, they understand what you're saying, they want to get involved. So here are some call to actions. You can sign up for an email list. So if you're part of a local group, you can create an email list, either with a tablet right there or even online. If you want to do an online one, a great one that I use for our group is MailChimp. Easy to set up, absolutely free, under I think 2,000 people. So it's really, really good. You could, if you have a local group, right, offer them to join you at the next meeting, at the next meetup. Really good for making that connection. You can direct them to ADOS 101. Great website. You don't have to explain a lot, so all the information is right there. And make sure you tell them to subscribe on YouTube to Breaking Brown and Tone Talk. So we want to make sure that we get those connections. You're not having to educate them. We got already somebody there that can educate them. Now, one bonus tip I will give you is connect with them on Facebook. While you have them there, make sure you send them a friend invite on Facebook if they're on Facebook. Some people aren't, not everybody is. Some people aren't. If you're on Twitter, hey, connect with them on Twitter. If you're on, you should be on both. So you have a way that's real easy, non-threatening to kind of get in there and connect with that person. Now, we talked about offensive messaging. This is some of the defensive messaging. And now also, let me say this as well. This works online as well, right? So you may be out and about, but this works online as well. So here's some of what you may get back as a rebuttal when people come back at you. The community members say, hey, you know what? I don't identify myself as a slave. I'm a king or a queen. Why are you identifying yourself as a slave? The response, ADOS stands for American Descendants of Slavery, not slave. We're talking about slavery as an institution. Good comeback. Community member, reparations will never happen. They ain't never gonna do nothing for us. Your response, look, we're on the road to zero wealth. Reparations are old and long overdue. We really don't have a choice but to fight for what's rightfully ours. Will you join us? And that's when you go right into one of those call for actions. You get on that email list. You get them to a local meeting. And once again, you'll get this as you go. So don't worry about remembering everything. You can always come back to the video. All right. You just want a handout. Hear that a lot. Hey, guess what? Reparations is a debt and the bill is overdue. And also, as you go along, you're like, wow, I don't know if I can remember that. Put it in your words, right? Make it comfortable for you. You just get the essence and you can get the words, later. Don't worry about that. Community member, we're our own problem, not the government. No, the government is completely responsible, and according to the data, and we're demanding the government take specific corrective action to fix what's broke. Community member, Black people have over $1 trillion in spending power. Group economics is the way to go. Look at the Asians and Latinos. Your response, first, we're not to be compared to any immigrant group. We're not immigrants. Second, group economics have already been tried and failed. Politics determines economics. There is no Black business without Black politics. We need a political solution. Community member, more education is what we need. Your response, right now, a white high school dropout has more wealth than a Black ADOS college graduate. This is proof education is not the answer. All right, you remember, always go back to the data. All right, community member, look, if we give you reparations, you're just going to spend it back with the oppressor. Response, I respectfully disagree, but that's not the issue. What people may or may not do with reparations has nothing to do with whether we deserve reparations. We deserve reparations. Community member, y'all just want to be like the oppressor. Response, no, we want justice and we want what is owed. Community member, we're all people of color, so we should focus on universal policies, not race-specific policies. Response, no, the policies that hurt us were intentional and targeted. So the remedies must also be intentional and targeted. Community member, what is reparations? What do you mean by reparations? Response, hey, you know what? That's a question for economists, historians, and others. I don't know enough to answer that. What's important is that the government take action on reparations now. And also you'll get a variation of this is, guess what? Who's gonna get it? Who qualifies for it? Don't go down that road. First, let's get an agreement that we need it, and we can go on from there. Community member, this is xenophobic or anti-immigrant. Response, no, we're prioritizing the well-being of our families and our group. It is our right and our responsibility to do so. Community member, y'all are anti-African. Response, no, we're pro-ADOS. and we support the justice claims of all African and Caribbean brothers and sisters. Community member, we need to just stop Trump at all costs. First that, then reparations. Response, no. We need to be focused on a Black ADOS agenda. We need reparations first. We need reparations now. Community member, y'all are down with the alt-right. Response, no. We're politically independent and focused specifically on our group's agenda. Community member, you all are homophobic. Response, no. We're focused on our specific justice claim and our specific agenda. See how some of these are repetitive? Guess what? You can use some of these with several different questions. Community member, y'all are divisive, dividing Black people. We need unity. Response, no. ADOS unifies us. Nothing matters to us but your lineage. That's what unifies us. Community member, we need to get Donald Trump out of office. Kind of the same, similar one, but just a little different. Hey, we need to close the racial wealth gap, and we need reparations. So now these are some general tips. So those were just some talking points. I know you've had a lot of those questions that have been asked for you. Now you have some things that you can give back to them. These are just some general tips. Keep it simple and to the point. Remember, don't go into down a lot of rabbit holes. Stay calm and composed. Hey, guess what? This can be a very emotional, subject. So the other person may get emotional. I want you to stay calm and composed. Use the data, rely on the data, not anecdotal stories, not somebody's feelings, not all this other stuff. Just focus on the data. Stick to your talking points. So we've already given you some of those. Remember to use your call to actions. We've given you several of those as well. Try not to get stuck talking to one person for too long. Remember, this is online and offline. Remember, you're there to reach as many people in the ADOS community as possible. So what I would say about that is exactly what it says. Look, you're not here to win debates. You're here to find out people who want to move forward with reparations. So that's, don't get stuck with this back and forth. Okay. Greet the person you're giving a flyer to. If you're out and about and if you're giving a flyer to, make sure you greet them. Very pleasant. Remember that the flyer you're giving out has information, so you don't need to try to repeat it word for word. Everything's on the flyer. We've also created some flyers, so if you don't have one already created, just shoot me an email or put it in the video. Hey, I need one, and I'll get with you and make sure we get you something. Try to give off an approachable demeanor. Smile, be pleasant, be open. Don't look like you're upset. Don't look like you hate the world. All right. Try not to get bogged down into a hypothetical discussion of what reparations look like. We need to emphasize the need. That's so important, guys. A lot of times people aren't really interested, but they'll come at you with these hundreds of questions of who gets it, what it looks like, how much they're going to get, all that stuff doesn't matter. Let's focus on that we need it first, and then we can figure out the stuff later. If you find yourself in a prolonged discussion, invite the community member to your next meetup to continue the discussion. So you just don't go back and forth with people. But some people are very well meaning. They're excited. They've been waiting for this for the long, and so they want to just talk to you forever. Can't do that. As much as pleasant as it may be, you can't talk to this person forever. Make sure you direct them to online, to the meetup, to the whatever call to action that you're going to use. Get them there. All right, now this is also some tips for handling the press or the media. You may not run into any media, but then again, you might. So we want you to be prepared. Stick to the talking points and get to the point. Don't tell them about your history and your life story, all that. Stick to the point. All right, don't try to answer any questions you don't know the answer to. Instead, try, I don't know, but I can find out and get back with you. That's powerful. That's powerful because that's so much better than you lying, obviously, or making up some stuff. And it's just easier to say, I don't know. There's no shame in that. Keep your answers short and to the point. Keep it simple. Get the media person's contact information and for follow-up purposes. And bring the conversation back to your talking points, no matter what the question. So they'll try to throw you off. We know you. You're a pro. You'll bring them back to the talking points. All right, fam, that's it. That's your tips. I know it's a lot. Watch the video several times. Take a lot of notes. Ask a lot of questions, whether you're out and about or you're at home on the internet, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're having these discussions back and forth. Now you have the ammunition and the training on how to handle them. All right, family. As I said before, like, comment, hearts, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Share this video. Even though we're about to wrap it up, I want to make sure that you share it. And if you haven't done it already, and you're on YouTube, make sure you like the video and subscribe. Family, this is Sean Hill wishing you a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.